Breaking news on the Taliban 5 in this exclusive report, first heard here on America's Newsroom. Fox News learning the Obama administration tried to get these 5 terrorists to flip and be on our side after releasing them out of Gitmo. They were swapped for Bowe Bergdahl. That plan, however, failed miserably. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, Fox News military analyst and author of Counterfeit Lies in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina today. Colonel, welcome back here. Catherine Herridge broke this news last hour. You've heard it. You've read it. What's your reaction?
I'm not at all surprised. We've tried to recruit every single one of those people brought to Gitmo over the course of the last 14 years. And the success rate has been just about zilch. There's one that I know of from early on in this business, and he was an Iraqi. But I don't see this kind of thing happening very often. These are committed, fanatical jihadis, and they're not about to be bent, twisted, or bribed into working for the United States once they're out of Gitmo.
Yeah, you're saying that we've tried to flip all the detainees to our
side?
side?
That's what you do with these guys. Absolutely. It starts right from the minute that they're detained, and if it looks like they might make it through the program, they're kept a little bit longer in theater because you don't have to send the guy all the way out of town. But it is a commonplace procedure in this irregular war, this undeclared war, this kind of fight that goes on almost never-endingly, done with all these guys. But the fact that they've now announced this, somehow this information gets out, sounds a lot like the White House trying to justify what they did. The bottom line of it is those guys are probably dead men walking right now because their pals back there in Pakistan and along the Af-Pak border aren't going to take kindly to the prospect that that the attempt was made, much less that some of them might actually have done it.
Wow. I want to show you some Fox polling, too, about the battle on ISIS. Here it is. We asked whether or not what it would do to defeat the Islamic terrorists. 66% say do whatever it takes. Another one is Obama prepared to do whatever it takes to defeat them. 53% say no. What about that number, Colonel?
Here's the short form. The American people are obviously frustrated with the lack of leadership coming from Washington. Here's what has to happen in order for the West to claim victory in this. And it's not going to be a guarantee, but doing these 5 things will help. Number 1, stop playing games with the Kurds. Arm them directly. They've even formed a Christian brigade of the Peshmerga. So they've got to take arms directly from the United States. And you can start putting some more advisors up north, not just down south, because the guys down in Baghdad aren't going to do anything with it anyway. Second, put some real air assets on the ground. I'm talking about air from a carrier battle group in the Med, more intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, search and rescue in Jordan, and start doing an air campaign. Bill, they're proud of the fact that they're doing 50 strikes a week. We used to do 1,000 a day when I was out there in Ramadi. 1,000 a day were being done. Number 3, forward air controllers and advisors right down at the brigade level. They've got to have it. It won't work without them. Number 4, we ought to be doing everything possible to encourage and logistically support the Egyptians, the Saudis, the United Arab Emirates, and the Jordanians going in through Jordan to secure the Euphrates River Valley, which means Anbar province. And finally, there can be no safe haven, Bill. What we've done is essentially declared Syria off limits for attacking the safe havens that make ISIS what it is. And the last one, here's something not to do. Don't do a nuke deal with the Iranians because al-Baghdadi will use that as proof, as his way of saying it, proof that he's the savior of Sunni Islam against the Shiites.
That's a heck of a list, Colonel. Answer this question after I show you this poll. Does the administration have a clear strategy for beating ISIS? 71% say no. Based on what you just ticked through, how much of that is happening, if any of it?
None of it. None of it. We've discouraged the Egyptian proposal to put Sunni troops from moderate countries in through Jordan. We don't have enough air on the ground. We don't have forward air controllers and JTACs out there with the brigades. And we're absolutely doing absolutely nothing to give information that would deter the ISIS troops from doing what they're doing. And that is, our information warfare program, call it propaganda if you wish, stinks. And what we've got to make sure that we're going to do out there is have a strategy that says we're winning, and winning is destroying ISIS, and we're not doing it.
Colonel, thank you. Oliver North there in Myrtle Beach. Also want to make a note for this, Colonel. Tomorrow marks 71 years since D-Day, and you can see a special episode of War Stories with Colonel Oliver North Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on the Fox Business Network. Colonel, thank you, and thanks for the work you do. We'll see you real soon again here in New York. Thank you, Colonel.